Once users identify samples of interest based on metadata filtering and grouping, these samples can be saved in LAN by creating a sample set. There are multiple options to create a sample set. In this example, since we are looking for differences between squamous and adenocarcinoma tumors, let's first select squamous carcinoma tumors by clicking the bar corresponding to these samples. As you can see, the selected samples are now highlighted, and detailed information for these samples will appear below. Let's create a sample set and group our sample set based on whether the filtered samples are selected or not. Let's start by giving the sample set a name, squamous versus adenocarcinoma. When creating a sample set, at least one tag is necessary. Tags will allow for easier searching of sample sets in the future. Let's give it a tag of ESCA for esophageal cancers. In the Metadata tab, you will see a listing of all samples within the sample set with sample IDs in the first column. The second column will have the title of selected, and as you scroll down, you will see yes and no. The yes will correspond to the samples that you selected for squamous, while the no will correspond to the adenocarcinoma patients. To identify our grouping better in the future, let's change the name of the selected column by double-clicking the column header and changing to squamous. This will help identify the samples that are either squamous or adenocarcinoma based off of the column header. Click Upload, and the sample set will be added to the LAN. The newly added sample set can be found under Manage, Samples, Manage Sample Sets. The new sample set will be found under the ESCA tag that we gave it earlier. Sample sets can be used similarly to the metadata columns that were filtered and grouped earlier. You may need to close the LAN and reopen it for the sample set to appear in the filters. Under Sample Set, you can find your sample set and expand the column. This can be used to select for your samples. We can also use this sample set to group our samples based on squamous versus adenocarcinoma. As you can see, sample sets can be used very similarly to the metadata columns for both filtering and grouping.